What is going on today, guys? Happy Thursday, April the 21st. And let me start off by saying, what an absolute insane day, like I have been saying for many days prior to this one. Um, Absolute up and down market. Beginning of the day, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow, everything was soaring. Everything was in beautiful, a beautiful bullish land, right? And then bang, right to the downside. The entire day just absolutely plummeting to the downside. We could just take a closer look right now, just so you can get a idea of what I'm talking about exactly. Let's look at the hourly chart. Yeah, I mean the Nasdaq absolutely fell off a cliff. I mean, like I said, it had a very nice uptrend, which is what you're seeing here. This nice uptrend, and then completely just fell off a cliff. This is literally what it looks like. It looks like a cliff, and it just fell. So, bottom line, there's reasoning for that. Like I have been talking about, the market is in a very volatile state, and is I feel like I've been saying, guys, about UVXY and these bearish ETFs. You've got to keep your eye on these because UVXY had a very nice move to the upside today. If you follow me on StockTwits, you would have gotten that alert, and it was an awesome entry. It was like 11:50 when I had alerted, and it went to like 13:30 or something like that. And still a lot more left in the tank for that, along with VIXY, along with a ton other bearish ETFs. But overall market has been in shambles. There's reasoning for that. There's justifications for it. It's not like for no reason. The start of day, I mean, was great. I mean, what a dream, right? Green as could be, and then falls off a cliff. But like I've been talking about, the volatility is massive. The inflation is massive. We're gonna see a downtrend. I mean, in terms of a recession, that is more than likely on the table. I mean, I don't know. A day like this is nothing compared to what actually can happen. So, realistically, I have my long positions that I'm going to be discussing in today's video, and I mean, I may have to stop out of the positions tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. Personally, the positions I'm going to be talking about, I'm extremely confident in, and I feel good about them, and I'll explain why in further detail. But yeah, guys, today, what an absolute insane day to the upside and then back to the downside at the close. And as of right now in after hours, it is red as can be. Approaching half a percent Dow Jones, half percent S&P, and more than half percent in Nasdaq. And it's only accelerating to the downside. So, um, you know, let's get into it, guys. First, we're going to talk about UVXY. Like I said, I called this alert on my stock twits at right around this level at 11:50. When I got that confirmation, when I saw the two bullish wicks, I pretty much had enough confidence that this was an absolute buy. And for me, when it comes to these volatile plays, they like volatile plays like UVXY, VIXY, you got SQQQ. They're very volatile plays, and they are basically dependent on what the market does, right? I mean, market to the downside is going to be good for these plays because this is what they benefit from. Um, but yeah, I mean, today it just accelerated to the downside, right? I mean, you could have easily sold around this wick right here, but realistically, the market was showing massive weakness, like I was explaining in my posts. And I mean, it accelerated to the upside, like I said. I mean, it went like what the 13th, a little over 1330. I mean, that's a really nice gain of well over 10%. It's like 15-20% from where I called. So, I mean, I hope you guys got in on that and keep it on watch because realistically, zoom out on the chart, guys. Zoom out on the chart. History, in my opinion, will repeat itself. Like it hits these 11 lows and it bounces off and pushes towards 15, 16, $17 range. And, it'll be off to the races at that point. So I'm going to keep it on watch. Obviously I already do, but I'm going to keep an eye on it for an entry possibly. I just didn't feel like I wanted to chase. I just wanted to give that alert out. And let's move on to the next name. Cassava Sciences, another one I've been talking about that, it's been absolutely desecrated. I mean, we're talking about an absolute hammering to the downside, right? I mean, look at this. just straight landslide, right? And today, today I felt confident enough in, a little bit before market close, I took a position here. My average is right around 1850, if I'm not mistaken, 1850s, right? And that for me is a really solid place to be, right? But like I've talked about, guys, in these markets, volatility is at a maximum. So when it comes to support levels, it's hard to justify. Like if I showed you the technicals of why I believe this is a solid, I'd rather just verbally tell you that I'm bullish on the name and say that who knows, because tomorrow we continue to accelerate to the downside. This can not reach all-time lows. Obviously, this is not all-time lows for Cassava. If we zoom out on the chart, if we go back in time a little bit, it was sort of a penny stock before absolutely hammering to the upside. So, you know, in general though, I think this company has more than enough in the tank and will return back to the upside. Um, if you're holding in some average in this region, possibly buy more. Stick to a plan, stick to what you feel comfortable with. But Cassava Sciences in general has had so much strength in the past, the recent year and whatnot. And I mean, I don't see this as a name that's just gonna fall off like that. I mean, is it possible? Of course it is. It could return to $10. I mean, I don't see that happening, right? But realistically, I'm gonna remain bullish on this name and heading into tomorrow and seeing what type of price action comes. But overall, I feel good on swinging the play. And moving on to integrated media technologies is what I've been talking about. One I actually got out of. So today I got out of it. I I may be contradicting, right? Like my whole ideals and what my plan was here, but I just like, for me it just fell so flat for me, right? Like around here is where I ended up getting out. And I did say I'm looking for more, but as soon as the momentum starts dying down like that, I and especially in a volatile market, I went to look for other options. I mean, this still is a bullish name in my mind, a low floater that will gain traction when the volume starts to come in. I mean, if you look at the chart, it's overdue for a little bounce to the upside. So realistically, market continues the downtrend. This may be a play to find a bottom. I mean, it did fall under $4, which was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, right over here, and it bounced off of it very nicely. So a move to the $5, $6, $7 range is not out of the question at all. Am I 100% sure about that? Of course not. I mean, I believe that it will, right? But due to volatile markets, we can't be so certain about anything. We just have to be prepared and pick our spots and do what we got to do to profit. So IMTE is a name I'm going to re-enter 100% once momentum starts to pick up and we don't have bids and asks so far apart from each other where it's so hard to get out of position at the price you want because there's just no volume, right? So moving over to BMV, Blue Water Vaccines, I will say the same thing about this play as well. Today, just a dollar down today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean, a solid move to the downside. And was it expected? Obviously with the market weakness and whatnot, and because it's such a low float, I see it happening. Of course, the big shareholders will be able to drive this price down, and realistically, I mean, we're looking at a stock that was in the 60s not too long ago. Okay, so we're in the low fives, high fours right now, and overall, this is a name to definitely keep an eye on. Just like integrated media technologies, yeah, both of these, once they gain traction off of anything, they will soar. And I'm talking like a 50% move to the upside. Now with Blue Water Vaccines, they had their conference, but that really didn't affect the price action much. I mean, it sent it to the downside, if anything. Um, I didn't read too much in it, but that the conference, I mean, it didn't really influence the price action at all. The stock itself just reacted to the market accordingly. I mean, look how red today was to close out. So this got hammered to the downside. Realistically, I do see a move to the upside coming. I am holding this name. This is one that I am 100% in. Integrated media technology is one I'm going to be keeping an eye on. And once it gains traction, I will get into that. And I'm just gonna stick to the plan, guys, because right now the worst thing you could do to yourself is sell for losses. I mean, unless you're in plays that are so damn volatile that they're just gonna continue for certain they're going to continue to the downside, right? But again, nothing is certain. We don't know, right? Market can open green tomorrow. With with all that's going on, market can still open green tomorrow. The market has proven that it does not care about certain conditions in the world, right? You have the Fed releasing that there's going to be a half point interest hike in the month of May next month, which is right around the corner, and the market reacted accordingly. You know, it was a logical. It reacted logically to the news, right? Because we're in a very inflationary market, and there's going to be downtrends like this. I mean, it's inevitable. And the last name we're gonna get into is RIVN, and this is a name I'm extremely confident in, and I actually took a position in this today towards the later afternoon, as well as Cassava Sciences. I added both of these towards the end of the day. My average here is going to be 33.60, and I'm going to hold this play for a nice swing, as will I for Cassava Sciences as well. Now, if you zoom out on the chart, in mid-March, it hit right around these lows, right where it is. Now, am I certain it's going to continue to the upside? Um, of course, I am pretty certain in general, right? I could be wrong. We could continue a move to the downside, maybe sub 30, but realistically, this is one of those really nice electric energy plays that I like it. I really like it around this range. Anything between here and 30 is 100% a buy in my opinion, because I mean a gap fill to the upside looks like it's ready. So this is a name I added. BWV and Cassava Sciences are going to be my three holdings heading into tomorrow. IMTE going to keep it on watch. UVXY going to keep it on watch. And again, guys, make sure to follow me on StockTwits to keep up on all alerts. And hope you guys are banking hard, honestly, because this is a crazy time. But crazy times bring a lot of opportunity to make good money. So stick to your plan. Stick to your what you're comfortable with, what works for you, and I will always remind you guys of that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And let's hopefully get a move to the upside. All right, guys. Peace.